fam, back with another video. Today, I know that I've already introduced myself, but I'm gonna go a little bit more into depth about just me, since Justin's not here this time. We love Justin, so it's nothing against him. So I was actually born in Indiana, Corn State. Woo! Full sarcasm. Anyways, then we finally moved to Tennessee, and my mom was in the military. She ended up having my sister, Alyssa. She'll be in a video sometime soon-ish, I hope. She's hectic. We love it. She was born in Tennessee, and then after that we left and we moved to Germany. We lived there for, I want to say, like 3 years, and from anywhere from like when I was like 2-ish, 3-ish until I was like 5. And I went to school for 2 years there. I went for kindergarten. I started kindergarten when I was 4. And then I did first grade there. And you know, in between then we moved to Italy for, I want to say, like 6 or 8 months or something like that. So I have lived overseas before. I lived in Germany and Italy, just with my dad most of the time. He took care of us, he walked us to school, he did our hair, you know, fed us. Being a good dad, you know. And I talked about, you know, how when we lived in Germany, he would actually rent the Sailor Moon CDs at the video store, and that's what he would do. That's where we were living, at least. We would go to the PX and stuff like that, you know. I remember some Italy, not too much. I remember the stupid story where my mom told me not to go. Like, we were swimming in the Mediterranean Sea, and I remember she's like, "Karen, don't go too far out." What did I do? I went too far out, and I like got all this salt water up my nose. It was disgusting. I'm an idiot. And I've actually got a few items here with me. Just felt like sharing them because they're like little mementos. I don't know how I've kept as long as I have. But you know, like, this is something my mom brought back. She sent to us from Afghanistan. My sister, I think she got a Winnie the Pooh one. When I lived in Germany, they had these festivals, like, I don't remember what it was exactly, but they were like throwbacks. I mean, I wouldn't call it a throwback, but you get what I'm saying. And like, I have this. It is really old, so it's got a lot of holes. I don't know why I still have this. And then also my last piece right here is a masquerade mask from Italy. It actually shattered once. It fell. And my dad was nice enough to glue it back together. You can see the cracks. But after that, we moved to Virginia. That's where my mom got her first job in the States. And we lived there for a really long time, like 9 years. And I made a lot of really good friends there. I miss them dearly. You know, and I did my elementary school, the rest of my elementary schools, because I started 2nd through 5th there. And then I did middle school, and then I did 2 years of high school there. Which was, but we're not gonna get into that. I still love Virginia though, so, bruh, I swear to God, every day I miss Wawa more and more. Bro, they have this iced coffee with the creme brulee. It's great. I don't care what anybody else says, Wawa is #1. Growing up, I really wanted to be a singer. I'm not a singer. I like to sing in my free time, but it's nothing I do anymore. I used to perform and like do little stuff here and there, but that was about it. You know, I still like to do noraebang, which is like karaoke when I'm in Korea, but like I don't do anything near what I used to do when I was a kid. I actually like went to singing lessons and all that other fun stuff. But you know, I then wanted to own my own business, and that was going to be a hair salon. I wanted to own my own hair salon and work in it. So in high school I was taking business classes, and then when my brother got older, we found out he had autism, and it was really difficult trying to help him learn, but I would sit down and try and help him as much as I could because, I don't know, I just felt obligated because my parents would get really frustrated, and they would get frustrated with me as a kid as well, so I knew how it felt. So I tried helping him as best as I could, and I realized I was actually not bad at teaching. So I wanted to try that. So in high school, when I moved to Indiana, I got the chance to internship as like a student teacher type thing, and I really liked it. I love working with kids, and I like history, so I was like, well, originally I wanted to be an ESL teacher, but my college was dumb and they said they didn't have a program for that, which they did. But either way, it's fine because I still love history. Like, growing up in Virginia, I really loved going to the museums as a kid. Like, if you ever do anything in Virginia, you have to go to DC. It's beautiful. All of the Smithsonian's, the zoo is free. Why not? Like, honestly, all the museums except I think the African American Museum, you have to get like a ticket. It doesn't cost anything, but you still have to get a ticket since it's so new and people keep going. And the only thing I've ever been to like that's cost is the Holocaust Museum. I personally won't go again, but you have to at least go once. It changes your perspective, really. It's a really life-changing museum. I love it. So I've always really loved history growing up because I lived in Virginia and you're surrounded by history, and I was really good at it, you know, because I sucked at science and math, and I wasn't good enough at English to be a teacher for that. So I figured, why not history? So I'm in school studying to be a history teacher. I've only got a year left. Woo! Thank God. So I'm studying to be a history teacher, but in the long run, I do want to be, you know, in Tenel and, you know, teach English as a second language. That's what I really want to do in the end game. And then maybe eventually come back to history teaching when I come back to the States eventually. I'm really into Asian culture, if you didn't know by now. I just really love learning new languages. Like, you know, I've talked about before, like I learned Korean and Japanese and Spanish, but we don't talk about that because it was high school and I didn't have anything else I wanted to take, and it was easy. I hated it. It was too easy. I used to play volleyball. I was really good too. I was a starter and I loved it. But your girl could not play anymore when she moved because it just didn't work out. But for high school in Indiana, I was very quiet. I was very to myself. I didn't mess with anybody because I'm not kidding you. I moved from like 45 minutes away from DC area, okay? And they plot me in this school that's rich kids in Indiana, and I was like, can't relate. And so I remember this one time, I cannot make this up, I cannot make this up. I went up to this girl, I said, hey, it was Gucci. And she looked at me, she goes, oh, my bag, it's Vera Bradley. And I was like, yeah, this isn't for me. So I just really kept to myself. But I've actually come out of my shell a bit more in college because I met Justin, and, you know, I've, you know, grown out and met new people. Even some people that I was like sort of friends with in high school, like my friend Alina, we're a lot closer now. And, you know, I just, certain people I've met through work, and I just wasn't as quiet. I'm quiet in the beginning, but then once you get me talking, I can't shut up. That's my issue. Oh, I will talk about my favorite animes real quick. My favorite animes would have to be like Sailor Moon, Seraph of the End. I'm trying to look in my bookshelves to see what's there. Those are my top two right now. Devil's Line. Devil's Line is great. I don't care what you say about the anime, it was okay. But the manga, ooh, fire, baby. It's so good. You will, yes. Like, if you hated Vampire Knight, take your butt and go read some Devil's Line, because I know Vampire Knight was stressful for me. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Yeah. All right, thanks for tuning in, guys. Stay tuned for my next video. See you later.